welcome to Stacy's Homestead, and today we're canning my pho broth that I made 3 days ago, and I will link to that up here. I did a video on it, so you might want to check that out. We're going to be canning it up today. So I have a 22 quart roaster filled with pho, and it's basically just a bone broth with Asian aromatics and flavorings, and it's just a really delicious, and I love to can it so I can have it whenever I want, because the broth is key. This is the thing is you have to have a really good broth to have a good pho, and it takes, like I said, it's taken me 3 days of slow cooking. I was on the fence, so I was going to cook it only for 2 days, but I really wanted to get some more of that bone marrow in there, so I decided to slow cook it for a 3rd day. But it'll be ready within 24 hours. The flavors are there within 24 hours. But for me, I really like to slow cook those bones in there to get that extra, just that extra oomph and the marrow and all the goodness from those bones. So it's all ready, rock and roll, and we're going to make it easy. So we're gonna just get our funnel here, get my funnel here, and I have the strainer. I still have the bones and everything in the broth, and whatever meat is falling off those bones is no good. It's the nutrients, it's all depleted, so we're just gonna put it in a pot. I got a pot ready here to give to the chickens. And if the bones and stuff are soft, I'll give it to my dogs too. So when you slow cook things with bones, bones become super, like they just dissolve. It becomes bone meal. And so it's really good for you and good for the dogs and good for the animals. So we're going to fill our jars up right now and pressure can these. So let me get this nice delicious broth here. Let me pull this forward so you can see a little bit more of this container here. Alright, I got all my jars set up and ready to go. Got my lids steeping in hot water. I always incorporate at least 2 or 3 used lids in some of my cannings. So like broth, for instance, I'll put, you know, that way I can just, I'm going to open it right away. So I just want to save on lids. And I know it's not recommended to do used lids, but I've done it for many years. And those usually tend to hold better than the new ones. So I never had a used lid fill on me. I haven't. And I reuse the ones from my water bath. So I won't reuse like canned, like if I used a new lid on canning, I usually won't reuse that. I like to reuse the ones that I water bath with. That's just my little rule. So, okay, so let's get this goodness strained off. We're gonna dig down in the bottom and just pick up some of these bones and stuff so I can strain that out. And sometimes I do a bigger strainer. Let's see. Sometimes I just do a bigger strainer. I think I might. See, look at those bones. And yeah, they're brittle. They're really just falling apart. So they're good enough to give to my dogs. They're hot, but I can. Yeah, that just broke right off. I'm gonna give these to my dogs and they'll chomp them up. So I'll make a separate one where I put the vegetables and stuff for the chickens. It's gonna be a lot, so I'll give half to the chickens, I think, and half to the dogs. So we have neck bones and oxtail bones in here. Just really good stuff. And meat that fill off the bones. So what I'll do, and you have like little ribs in here. What I'll do is I'll after the first like 10 or so hours, like maybe more than that, I'll take meat, a lot of the meat out that I want to eat with my pho later. But I still leave a good amount of meat in there for flavoring. So let's put this in, dump our bones out. And this is what we're gonna do. We're just gonna keep on just decanting, or yeah, basically we're gonna just decant this whole pot. Keep on straining it all, that's what I mean to say. So there's this bones, really thick ones, I'm just gonna throw away because I'm not sure if the dogs will be able, if those were penetrated or not. This one, let's see. Let's see. It might be cooled down enough. Bones retain so much heat. Like this is a really thick bone. Let's see if I can snap it in half. Oh yeah, I can snap it in half. Yeah, that's fine. They're good. 3 days of cooking bones. And if anything, you can grind this up and make dog treats out of it. Add it to your garden. All right, so we got, there's one. And you want to leave 1 inch headspace. Because I'm going to be using tattler lids too. So it's really important to be good on that spacing with tattler lids. All right, there's one. And I believe my canner holds 8 quarts. Let's put that in a pot. And this doesn't have a whole lot of fat. I skimmed off a lot of the fat already, but I do leave a good amount in there because the fat's good for you. So if I have a whole lot of fat, I'll skim that off, and I just leave a good thin layer because it gives flavoring and deliciousness. So I go from the bottom of the pot up, bring all the stuff from the bottom to the surface. So you get a good even mixture in each jar. And I usually get about I get about 20 quarts out of this. 22 quart roaster I get after you take all the bones and stuff out. I probably can get about 20 quarts. Sometimes 19. Just depends on how much space, how many bones, and how much meat is taking up space in my broth here. Okay. Alright. So I'm going to do all the rest of these. And then we'll get our lids on. Alright, so we're about done here. I have one more jar to do. One more jar. So I'm gonna have to do at least 2 sessions of canning here because I have a lot more broth left, and my pressure canner I can't double stack quarts. That's why, you know, I love my Mara because it's just so lightweight and it's easy. But I still, you know, I'm always looking at those All-Americans. Just the bigger one, because if I get another one, I want a bigger one like that I could double stack quarts if I want to. That way it saves energy and time. So it's one of those things I'm gonna get in the future, just when I have enough savings for it. It's not a priority at the moment though, so. Almost. And then we're gonna wipe our rims with vinegar, especially hot water and vinegar, because this has grease in it. And we'll make sure that we cut the grease on the top for a good seal. Some things I just do hot water, but not with anything with grease. I use vinegar. Alright. That looks good. Now let's put the lid on, keep this warm. Move this aside. I'll bring you in and alright. I'm putting a little bit of vinegar in my water that's holding my lids too. I like to do that. And then let's get a paper towel. And because I like to do it in pieces, so I'll do a few of these and dip it in hot water and some vinegar here. And wipe those rims really, really, really good. And make sure you switch your towel around. You don't want to use the same spot. Get another towel, another piece of the towel, a little hot water, and a little vinegar. There we go. So this one I overflowed, so I want to make sure I do it real well. Really, really well, because I overflowed this one. On accident, wasn't paying attention. Go over it with some hot water here. Alright. That should be good. Let's get our lids on. So let's put on our tattlers first. So my water's cooled down enough for me to handle. I like to put the rings in the water too to warm them up. Let's just go ahead and just dip these all on. And the one I got grease on that I overflowed, I'm just gonna probably use lid on there, because the flats will seal for sure. Will seal for sure. All right, let's get our fingertip tight for all of this. Fingertip tight for the Easy Seal Tattler lids. Let it turn and then a little tighter. Turn and a little tighter. There we go. Turn. And just a little tighter. And we turn it. Just a smidge tighter. Let it turn. And smidge tighter on that. I have a video that shows more explicitly how I do it. Turn, a little tighter. Alright, let's get these ones. Same thing. This one's just fingertip tight. tight. Let's get these in. My jars are hot, so I got a hot canner, hot jars. Or warm canner, warm jars, you know how it goes. Alright. So I have a hot spot in the very center of my canner, so I make sure I don't put the tattlers in there on the center. I put a tin in the middle usually. Why did I think I have 8 for my canner? Oh, I melted that. Gosh, look at this. It melted. Well, that's not good. I've had this thing for a long time. I guess I melted it on both sides. I grabbed it. It was just too hot for it, but that's okay. It has metal underneath, so I'll still use it. I don't know why. My canner only holds 7 quarts. Why did I think 8? Let's go ahead and, if you have anything left, take that lid off so it doesn't seal. We don't want that lid sealing. I'm gonna rinse it. Just put it on, like, kind of loosely, because it'll seal on you, and then you have to open it up. So, all right. So I had a brain fart there. Sorry, y'all. My canner only holds 7 quarts. Why did I think 8? Okay, alrighty, y'all. So I got my broth in the canner, and we're gonna process that for 25 minutes. Alrighty, so our broth is done. It's done. Let's take it out. And I didn't get any siphoning. That's nice. So we got 1 jar here. And now the rest of our tattlers, we gotta tighten these after we take them all out. So we're gonna take them out and then tighten them. But these tin ones, we don't have to do that. The flats, they're called. We don't have to tighten flats, only tattlers. They all look really good. I don't see any jar that would have siphoned. So, alright, so let's get a rag and tighten these down. Okay, start with the one we first took out, and I think they're pretty much sealing already. Alright, so they look nice and pretty. And I got another round I gotta do, but that's how you can. Beef broth or pho, which is a beef broth basically. So, and pints are 20 minutes and quarts are 25 minutes based on my altitude, which I use a 10-pound weight. So, alrighty, so we'll just talk to y'all later, and thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye bye.